more books this month, but I didn't just because twice a year I get the itch to play Pokemon.
Yep, I could have read more books this month, but I didn't, because, like that catchy intro just said, twice a year, usually happening around March and November, I just feel the need to play Pokemon. And no, it's not because Sword and Shield just came out for all my fellow nerds out there. That was a fist bump, not a punch. I just felt like doing a Nuzlocke of, what do I have? Soul Silver. So yeah, if you guys want to look for someone to blame for me not having that big of a reading month, these are the little characters that ruined it for all of us. But luckily, the need to play this game lasted about a week and then it burned itself out. So I did get some reading done. Huzzah! And you guys who saw the last wrap-up / TBR know how this went. Because what was the first book series I decided to keep reading? I tried so hard. Let it be known that I am a quitter, but at least I tried before I quit. You guys know I didn't like this one, but I decided to keep reading the whole series because I bought them and I wanted to get my money's worth. If you get anything out of this, just know, 1 star. Like, I remember this tab. This is where they, downright copied Star Wars. Listen to this, okay? This is, the Queen talking to... What's her name? Mare. Queen's like, "You have taken my son from me." And Mare's like, "You have done that yourself." So, regardless of how much I loathe that book, I have something to tell you guys. It actually got better. Wait. So, what happened in Glass Sword? Well, basically... after the whole kerfuffle of the first book, Mare and her entourage of people who survived, who I won't tell you, they went off to a safe place, and it got better. There was more action. Our evil villain guy, he actually, stepped up to the plate and did some, villainous things. And I'm like, okay, you're progressing, my friend, but I still think your mom is the one making all these decisions. But yeah, it was fast-paced. We weren't just waiting around in a castle trying on pretty gowns. And Mare, who I loathed, actually got a lot better. Her attitude in this book is I am tired of you. I'm gonna kill you. I am done with all kinds of boys. Stop. Leave me alone. And I'm like, okay, you're getting good. You're getting better. Okay. She's got her powers. She's kind of kicked butt. Cal, my favorite character, Cal and Maven are tied for favorite character to me. He actually had a mental breakdown at one point because he was just under a whole bunch of stress. And I'm like, relatable. So yeah, this book jumped from Red Queen from a 1 to a 3. The main complaint I have with this book is it has a pattern and it doesn't break the pattern. Basically, the whole book is, oh, we get to this destination. We learn a little tidbit about the world. Oh, we get betrayed. Oh, we have to move to a new destination. Oh, we get to know people. Oh, we get betrayed again. Oh, we gotta run again. Same thing. So, I was like, oh, good. This means the next book will be better. Okay. Because just by reading the back of this book, you know it's gonna have a lot of my favorite character Maven in it. Spoiler, Maven's the villain. So, we got the hero trapped in the villain's castle as his prisoner. That's my favorite thing, man. Just some Villo. Yeah, that's the anti-hero. Villain, hero, Villo. The villain's talking to the MC trying to get her to join his cause. I love that stuff. Yes, everyone turn evil. Please, it will be entertaining. The hero puts up a magnificent fight to show how strong they are. And those points of view were good, because this book, in comparison to the first two, is told in third person. Wait, okay, it's not told in third person, my bad. It's told in multiple perspectives. So we're not, only in Mare's head anymore. We're in what really, kicked me out of the book series. The other people. So, in the previous book, Glass Sword, we are introduced to a new character. I believe her name is Cameron Hater. She's basically Mare, but even more downgraded as a human, likable character. She's just angry all the time.
I'm the best. I don't need anyone. I'm gonna save my brother.
Shut up. We have these chill, sinister, just threat-ridden chapters where you have Maven and Mare just sitting across from each other, each wanting something else from the other person. Then, because Mare is trapped and the army is over here doing its sort of shenanigans, whose perspective are we in over there in the army? We're in Cameron's. Why would I want to be in Cameron's head? She's whiny and complaining and she's just not a good team player. I hate her. So we have these little snippets of Mare and Maven Then we had just like these long chapters of just Cameron doing army stuff. Actually, she wasn't doing the army stuff. She was just being a moody little baby sitting in the bunker and just reporting on what the other people, the actual fighters, were doing. Why couldn't we be in the fighters' point of view? Why couldn't we be in Cal's point of view? Cal is with the army, with Cameron. Instead of putting us in Cameron's head, why not put us in Cal's head? So yeah, this is like a Priory of the Orange Tree thing again. I hate one character's perspective, and she's half the book basically, so I hate half the book. And it was getting good with Mare and Maven. They were doing their shenanigans. I'm saying shenanigans a lot, but it was good. But I hated just the rest of it. And then, this is what honestly broke me. We're in like halfway through the book, we're introduced to another character's point of view, Evangeline. Leigh Bardugo, Victoria Aveyard, King of Scars, King's Cage. Why do you guys think I want to be in the basically mean high school girl's point of view? I'm not gonna like her, so why do I want to be with her? Evangeline, Zoya, hate them both. So when I saw that I had to read them, I'm like, oh, I am just done. I do not want to take being in these whiny little ladies' heads anymore. So I DNF'd this, and I'm not even going to try to read this, even though it cost me $19.99. And gosh, pretty inside though. I'm going to give these away. I don't want them anymore, but I'm also sad to give them away, because look at that aesthetic. Look at those colors. They're just, they look so good over there, but they need to go because I hate them. So, little recap. 1, 3, DNF'd. Thank you, Cameron. Didn't even try. So after kicking that series to the curb, I was like, I need something to just blow up. So I finished, okay? Oh wait, I was sorta on a book buying ban. Not officially because I knew I'd break it. And so one day I was just, sitting at the cafe at Books A Million, writing my little book, and I decided, to go out and stretch my legs. So I was just walking up and down the aisles, and I found something amazing. You guys remember how in my last update Red Queen Sucks video I was talking about this book, Lockdown Escape from Furnace, and how I was like, oh, it's just these boys trying to escape an unescapable prison, inescapable, whatever, and it's just a good ride. Guys, they had the whole series. I had never seen these before, so my book buying ban flew out the window, and these are good. So these are technically young adult books. I think they're more middle grade, so I'm grading them on a more middle grade basis, which is, was I entertained? That's really it. That's all I'm looking for. I don't need a lot of character development. So here's a little brief overview. First book, 5 stars. Kid named Alex, framed for a crime. In this world, murder of any kind at any age is no longer tolerated. You're 8 years old, you commit murder, you're going to Furnace, which is not a little, but I'm thinking. It's a prison set deep under the earth. How are you gonna escape? There's rock everywhere. Probably lava. The guards of this awful prison are called black suits. Just these tall, intimidating men just packed with muscle, and they never stop smiling with their creepy silver eyes. There's these weird shuffling doctors called Weezers who have these gas masks, and they just walk by your cell every night looking to take prisoners up for experimentation. You have these mutant dogs that also are the guards, and they will eat you. So many people die brutally in this series. It's for kids. I'm strangely for this. So, Alex, he refused to have his spirit broken. He teams up with some good friends. Seriously, I love the friends in this book. They're like, if I had to pick a wingman, Donovan. Just Donovan, man. Donovan and Z, my boys. So yeah, we just gotta escape this place. It takes a long time, but do they escape? Because sometimes the greatest prison you carry around with you is with you, inside you. That was me trying to be deep. So, second book, Solitary. This one is a 3-star. It's my least favorite of the series because let's just look at the title. Solitary. What is solitary? Well, that's where bad, naughty prisoners go to spend a little alone time for years on end. That's what kind of happens. And some people might be like, oh, well, I don't want to read a book where a guy's just sitting in a cell by himself. That was my favorite part. Because when you sit by yourself with nothing but your thoughts, you start to go a little loopy. You get that character perspective that I really like. You start hallucinating, which I also like. My least favorite parts were just replanning the escape. But again, one thing I really like about this book, besides being super gory, is that these kids, they make plans to escape and they fail. Real life stuff hey, not everything works out the first try, gotta adapt. So then the third book, Death Sentence. I am ashamed to take this book out in public. Mom! You are interrupting a video. I am ashamed to take this book out in public because it's a shirtless man, and that makes me uncomfortable. Nipples! Look at that. But, oh my gosh, what's happening over here? What is this, like, black substance creeping to his veins? Why does he look murderous? Read the series. This is, like, the book that was recommended to me on Goodreads, and I was like, oh, it's book 3 in a series, but, it looks interesting. So let me just read the summary. Monster! In the hidden blood-stained laboratories beneath Furnace, the warden pumps something, a sinister, dark nectar into his veins. He is made into a monster. The prison is now in his body. I am intrigued. So, we have a tormented soul in this book. We have an anti-hero. I'm in heaven. I thought this would be the best book in the series, and it's a 5-star. There are, like, boss fights in this book that are, like, heart-pounding, but my favorite book actually turned out to be the 4th book, Fugitives. Escape from Furnace. I don't want to tell you too much about what happens because we're pretty deep in the series now, but if there's one word I can get you interested in this series, sword arm. Sword arm. Sword arm. Isn't that dope? So, the Escape from Furnace series, Lockdown, Solitary. Please don't quit on Solitary. Like I said, it's a 3, it's the lowest rated in the series to me, but keep going, because Death Sentence, dope. Pun intended. You get it if you read the book. Fugitives. Sword arm. Do you guys really want to miss the sword arm? Read the book. Execution. The finale. It had one little trope cliche towards the end that I didn't really like, but it was still good. Spoiler here. If you want to know what that trope is, it's basically a friendship is magic trope. Like My Little Pony. Oh, I'm not hating on My Little Pony. That's a good show. But if I say it has an anime ending, do you guys understand what I mean by that? Oh, and I'll just continue the spoilers here and tell you my favorite scene in this book. The 4th book, Fugitive, my favorite, 5.5 stars. Not only does our main character have a dark, sinister voice speaking in his head, he's like becoming a monster. And there's other monsters roaming across the street. The whole city is taking over the nation. I think this is set in Britain. Britain's gonna die. But because Alex, our guy, he's becoming a monster too. These other monsters, they look at him and they're like, family! We're not gonna hurt you or eat your friends, but we won't hurt you. And the biggest monsters running across the streets are called berserkers. Like, imagine a troll with like a baby face. That's a berserker. They will eat you. But they're also strangely cute, okay? Like, they're like little pets. They really like Alex. And he's like, I will slaughter all of you. So, like, Alex and his gang, they get cornered in this church, and like a berserker comes in, he just starts like slinging all these people around, but then he sees Alex, like, oh, hey, and he just walks past him, and Alex is like, no, how dare you, fight me now, and then he just like goes up and like kicks him and throws a pew at him, and the berserker's like, what are you doing? I'm not gonna fight you. Fight me now. I relate to that, because if I want to fight something and it refuses to fight me, like what, I'm not worth your time? Rude. Nice fighting style. Just really simple. If you got like a little brother or sister and, you know, they're done with chapter books, but you don't think they're quite ready for Harry Potter or Percy Jackson, give them these. I mean, everybody dies. Well, not everybody. But in this series, like, so many characters just introduced, like, hey, I am Charlie. I will tell you this valuable piece of information. Oh no, I'm being eaten, help. It's just fun. I am so sweaty. I did so much, like, movement in that last part. I'm gonna take a water break real quick. Okay, I am sufficiently fueled to keep talking. If you guys have made it this far in the video, comment down below what your favorite Pokemon is. And if you never played Pokemon and don't know what I'm talking about, write the word Digimon. So let's see, how many did I read so far? 5, because I only finished that one Red Queen this month. So, okay, I read 2 more books this month. Both are thrillers. Yeah, thrillers. Well, this is a mystery because obviously it's written by Agatha Christie, and then there were none. Guys, I've only read this book once. I read it in one day, and I already broke the spine. I'm awful. But I did buy this book with the tip money from my barista job, so I got like the cheapest copy I could buy, $7.99. So that's what I get. But I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys have heard of this book. And then there were none. 10 strangers all arrive at this island. They can't get off the island because someone is pulling the strings and they want them to be punished for their wrongdoings, and they're all gonna die unless they figure out, hey, who's killing us? That's basically it. Super easy book to read. I don't know how I feel about it because it's interesting, like, all these people are dying. Why are they dying? They're dying in pretty gruesome ways. We gotta figure out who's killing them. But let's just say 3.5 because I did have fun reading it, and I read it so fast that everything it's a well-written book for me to understand everything that happened, even though I read it that fast. But it says the world's best-selling mystery, and I just don't feel that way. Like, it was good, but not that good. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, okay, gather my thoughts. Okay. Like, I can't speak for everyone on this, but I knew who would be the last person standing, and I knew who would kill everyone else. Mainly because they were, like, the first people introduced. Yeah, spoiler tag for here, because I have to talk about it, because it's my only problem with the book series. No, it's just one book. Ooh, it should be a book series where everybody, like, comes back as ghosts, and they're like, we want revenge! But they still have no clue who killed them all. So they gotta solve the mystery of who killed them. I am gonna fanfic this. So yeah, spoilers here. Vera, I believe, the sorta secretary, she was the last person standing, but she ended up killing herself, all according to our mastermind's plan. And so, if you're here, spoilers, you know who killed everyone. It was the judge, Mr. Wargrave, yep. And I knew it would be him for two reasons. Not because he was, like, the leader, because he was the leader. He was, like, telling everybody, this is how we solve this mystery. We have to stick together. Only one person can leave the rooms at a time. But because we have 10 people, so we have, like, 10 perspectives. But we were never in his point of view. If we were, it was rare. Very rare. But the final, like, clincher for me, knowing that this was our killer, Mr. Wargrave, he was in the final 4, but then he's the one who got, like, killed off. But the thing is, all the other previous murders, they'd been subtle. Poisoning, bee stings. One guy got, like, hit in the back of the head with an axe, but that was, like, way off in the tool shed or whatever. None of it was really theatrical, but these final 4, they heard a scream. Vera was screaming. The other 2 guys ran up to Vera. Mr. Wargrave stayed in his room. They found Vera. Oh, she's okay. So they went back downstairs, and then they find him shot in the head, and he has, like, a curtain wrapped around him that looks like a judge's robes, and he has, like, like someone knitted a wig, like a judge wig, and stuck it on his head. So you get the feeling that the killer has a special thing in it for him, the judge, because there was none of this theatricalness with any of the other people. So yeah, he was faking it. He wasn't dead. That little bullet hole, it was just like Play-Doh or something. This was just him having a laugh. He explained it all in the epilogue, but I knew. So I wasn't really thrilled. Like, I don't like it, but I don't hate it. 3.5. It was good enough. Okay, the last book I read has, like, the worst cover. Like, you know, I like all this blue, but it's just like a lady walking. And that lady doesn't even look like the lady in the book, so who is this chick? The Perfect Wife. Also, this annoys me. Look. It's just white. It's like a cheap white binding. Now, I gotta get into the tale of me thinking about this book before I even, like, got into reading it. So, The Perfect Wife, what do you think it's about? Well, I don't know. So, like any other normal being, you flip it over to the dust jacket and you read, Perfect Life, the perfect love, the perfect lie. Abby awakens in a daze with no memory of who she is or how she landed in this unsettling condition. The man by her side claims to be her husband. He's a titan of the tech world, the founder of one of Silicon Valley's most innovative startups. He tells Abby that she is a gifted artist, an avid surfer, a loving mother to their young son, and the perfect wife. He says she had a terrible accident 5 years ago, and that through a huge technological breakthrough, she has been brought back from the abyss. She is a miracle of science. But as Abby pieces together memories of her marriage, she begins questioning her husband's motives and his version of the events. Can she trust him when he says he wants them to be together forever? And what really happened to her half a decade ago? Beware the man who calls you the perfect wife. So, kind of vague, but when I read that, I was like, solved it. She's a robot. Husband's a technological blah blah nerd. Brought back from the abyss. Funky memories. The twist is she gonna be a robot. And now I don't want to read the book anymore because I guessed it. And I don't know, just the revelation that someone is a robot this entire time, that doesn't excite me. It doesn't. Cyborg? That's fine. Robot? I'm not interested for some reason. So I started reading the first chapter, and the guy straight up tells us in the first chapter, you're a robot. Welcome back, wife. I brought you back. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, this is a whole new adventure now. So this man, what's his name? Tim. Tim is the guy who is out there in the world trying to develop robots and highly efficient AI for humanity's sake. He loses his wife, so he has uploaded all her, like, social media accounts, basically the best parts of her personality, like the positive stuff we put out onto the internet. tricking people into thinking we have all our crap together. Yeah, he takes all of that, he puts it into this perfect replica of her, and wakes her up. Like, hi wife, how you doing? You gonna make me spaghetti tonight or what? And she's like, I am so confused. So she's missed out like 5 years of his life, her son's life. And my favorite thing about this book is that it's told in second person. So it's like, I see you walking down the road, you are having a bad day, stuff like that. I love that, especially in thrillers. It gives everything sort of a being watched feel. So of course not everything is hunky-dory in this restored family home, and it's up to Abby to figure out, is Tim telling her everything? Is he distorting the truth? How is she supposed to know? She doesn't have a bunch of memories. But she is relearning, and she will discover the truth of the previous Abby's relationship with Mr. Tim. Now, I give this book a 4. I really enjoyed it. I was like never bored, even though it was a bunch of like domestic stuff, even though there are like robots involved. But I finished this book over Thanksgiving break. I finished it on the way to an amusement park, Busch Gardens. Love that place. So when I was like being jostled around on roller coasters going upside down, I was thinking about this book. And there was just like 2 things that bothered me that dropped it from a 5-star. One was that Abby is regaining memories of before the time that the original Abby died. But how? Like, there's this gigantic technical explanation that simply put that the brain that Abby, the robot, has is making guesses as to what to happen, but everything that Abby is now is from social media. So how can she remember a day when she went swimming? Because that's what happens in the book. She just randomly has a flashback to her swimming as she walks by the pool. There was no social media happening at the time. No one was filming her. No one was taking pictures. Or was there? Because I wouldn't put it past Tim to like spy. And my bigger issue, the last issue, is of course there's a twist. It's a thriller. But there's like 3 twists. 3, and I am fine with that. But towards the very end of the book, we get another twist, and that twist, it makes you question why everything else happened. Because if that twist is the reality of what's really going on, then all of this stuff that happened in the first half didn't need to happen. Spoiler here, if you know what I'm talking about, it's when Abby and her son, they escape, they go to that, hippie place? Hippie ranch? I don't know. Basically, they go to a sort of safe house of sorts, and Abby thinks that this is a good place for them to live, that they'll find the original Abby here, but lo and behold, Tim and his own version of Tim Robot are waiting for her, and normal human Tim says, this has been my plan all along. I wanted to create the perfect family. So, the overall objective is to create perfect replicas of themselves to live off in their little house and raise their autistic son. But that's true. Then why did Tim, in like the middle of the book, tell Abby that the reason he created Robot Abby was to help solve the death or disappearance of the original Abby? But we know from the plot twist that original Abby was murdered by Tim, so we don't need to be looking for her death. So why are you making Robot Abby? You see, this is confusing. Why does Robot Abby need to be looking for clues for dead Abby? Why would Tim put her through that? Why would he even, lie to her? Why wouldn't he just, program her to want to stay in the robot house? I don't understand it. That makes everything that happened in the first half irrelevant. It was still a good book. I enjoyed it. Where's my water? You need, the lungs of a swimmer for book reviews, I feel. And I don't have that. This video's gonna be long, so I will just say this super quickly, what I'm reading next, because I just threw it. Because I just finished The Perfect Wife, I was like, what would be more perfecter, is perfecter a word? What would be more perfect than to follow it up with The Perfect Girlfriend? Put it simply, crazy lady has a breakup. Crazy lady gets a job in an airline to follow her boyfriend pilot, and she is determined to get back together. This book has deckled edges, and I usually hate deckled edges, but these are actually perfectly fitted so that they form a little pattern. So it's really relaxing just to rub. And the big one I'm super excited to read, Yeet! Look at them. They're beautiful. They're beautiful. Name of the Wind, Wise Man's Fear. Together, The King Killer Chronicles. You can see the little bookmark there. I'm already reading this book. It's very good. Witty and funny, but, depressing and deep and just adventurous. And I'm still, reading the parts where he's only 12 years old. But it's called The King Killer Chronicles. I don't care what anyone says. There's only one true king killer. And his name is Murtaugh. So, because the back of this book doesn't give a good summary, Here's a short one. Guy named Chronicler, someone who chronicles stuff. He's traveling around. He manages to find this legend who is in hiding. He's like, hey, I know you. You have a ransom on your head. The guy in hiding, his name's Kavoth. I think it's pronounced Quoth, but it's spelled Kavoth. So that's how I'm gonna say it. He's like, oh, well, you found me out, so I gotta kill you. And Chronicler's like, hey, instead of that, like, we're all mortal and we're all gonna die eventually, so why don't you just tell me your life story and I'll make sure you don't be forgotten or your myth will just, like, die off entirely. And Kavoth's like, that's a pretty good deal, actually, yeah. So basically, Kavoth is just trying to tell his entire story in 3 days, and it's fascinating. It switches from third person to first person. First person is when Kavoth is telling his story. Third person is when they take, like, their little breaks from the story, because there's, like, other stuff happening around the story. There's, like, an outbreak of giant spiders right now. Now, like, ooh, spiders. Basically, this book is how a legend became a legend, and it's very good right now. When I finish it, I'll be able to give you a more in-depth summary. And this one, this bad boy, is exactly 1,000 pages, and I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a most beautiful December, and despite the utter garbage at the bottom of this pile, I think I had a good reading month in November. Pretty decent. Mostly because of, like, this series, Sword Arm. Don't you guys want a sword arm? I do. And now it's time to put all the books back in place. Oh, I'm so happy for you guys. Oh, and if you guys are wondering, I didn't do Nano. 2 reasons why. Actually 3. 1 is because of Pokemon. I was distracted. But it's not like I wasn't doing anything. Like, basically, short little summary, I finished a book. I had the manuscript, but I realized some mistakes, so I'm in editing process. I thought I was on, like, draft 8. Now I'm back on draft 0, which is fine. I'm having a blast. I love editing. But Nano would not be healthy for me in my writing style, because I know without a doubt that I can write 50,000 words in a month. I've done it before. The problem is, would they be good words? They wouldn't, because I have a goal, write so-and-so words today, and I will meet that goal. And that's like, that would be the only thing important in my mind, just meeting that goal. I don't think I'd be able to give it my best shot. It's better if I just, like, take it slow at my own pace. But the third and most important reason is I overwrite. Like, I am Tolkien. I am my worst enemy. I want to describe everything. And that's, like, the biggest thorn in the editing process right now. Making things cohesive. And I don't need to write 50,000 words because I have plenty of those. Look at that. Look at that. That's embarrassing. And look at that sequel. We need to stop writing. So yeah, let me know if you did Nano. Tell me your word count, because you have seen mine, and it's embarrassing. Peace, love, and happiness to all of you, goodwill towards mankind. Merry Kanishmas, Chowder fans. That was such a good show. And I am gonna drink some more of that water. Bye-bye.